Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a quick look here at ARB. It's a request from one of my newer community members, Pi. Thank you very much for requesting. I cover that. Future reference, you're part of our Discord, our free Discord here. You can jump on over to request and just ask me to go ahead and cover these coins. Okay, so we're going to talk about ARB, see what's going on. Quick congrats to our community members for some nice scalping trades here in the last 24 hours this morning. Took profit on Avalanche 30%, Solana 13% in roughly 8 to 10 hours. And a little bit longer of a swing trade here. We took a nice ARPA trade at 80%, 2 months, 24 days. So, hey, things change a little bit sometimes depending on swing trades. But bottom line here is we took 30% from Gala in 4 hours, so it all kind of equals out. Thanks again for the requests and the wonderful feedback too I've been receiving. So happy that's working well for you. If you do plan to register for our premium group, just know there's a few slots left available. We're going to start restricting the amount of new members just so we can have more one-on-one time with our members. If you need a good exchange, by the way, future reference, Bitunix has you covered. No VPN, no KYC required. Phenomenal exchange, has some extremely good benefits just for registering with my link. So be sure to check that out. So what we want to talk about here at ARB is a few things. First of all, we're on our ABC pattern, our way down. We don't know if this is the lowest point yet, but this is a lower low, effectively lower than the first. Okay. So how it works is you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Elliott Wave. 3 higher highs, 2 higher lows, followed by 2 lower lows and 2 lower and 1 lower high. Okay, so we could very well be at the bottom. This could be the bouncing point, but we don't know that yet. The confirmation isn't in yet, but it is looking fairly indicative. Okay, so we'll talk about that. So we're going to look at some key level supports and resistances, and we'll address a few important factors here. So taking a look at the big picture, let's go ahead and just mark this on the daily. We got pretty strong resistance level here where we had about 5, 6 days where the price waked up. It couldn't close above that level. And then also, of course, back here as well. So keep in mind, I am using the Binance exchange for this analysis. And so keep in mind, there might be some other charts that might be slightly older, but we're still going to be using the more shorter term time frame, so it's not super relevant. But we got some important resistance levels that we've acknowledged, okay? Speaking of daily time frame, let's see where we're at on the moving averages. This isn't great. We're above the 50 and the 100, which is all well and good, but the 200 and the 20, the more important ones to me, are not so great. We're underneath the 20, so that basically implies we lost our shorter term trend line. Okay, so usually it kind of looks like that. Let's go ahead and put this guy up here as well. And then if we take a look at the 200, we're testing that right now, currently wicking down below and essentially, well, potentially closing here today. We got 3 more hours left. We close at about 105 or lower. We'll be below the 200, and that's never a great sign, okay? So I'm not saying that the sky is falling, but it's really not fantastic here for this coin. We can see we're testing 50 on the RSI, which is commonly a support level, but we don't have much to contribute to that, right? So, yeah, okay, maybe we do. Here, if we take a look here, we can kind of see this most recent high where the price action plateaued for about 3 trading days before it broke out. It is looking like that might be a potential support level here. So we'll talk about that in a minute. We are diverging on the MACD, of course. And if we take a look at TD sequential, we're only getting started. We're about 3 days into this continuation to the downside. A lot of reasons not to take a trade. And by the way, good traders are only looking for reasons not to take a trade, not the inverse, trying to find reasons to take a trade, right? That leads to overtrading. Undertrading is effectively the best way to survive any market to make sure that you are not getting wrecked, right? So what's the point of making tons of profit if you just turn around and give it back to the market? It doesn't make a ton of sense. So to all those folks that keep asking me that are, that join my community, like, hey, can you recover my account? Truth is I can't, but I can definitely help you with the trade signals that we have. Again, we got some healthy trades here. Obviously, check that out in your own time. I actually post my results on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord last month. 90% success rate. This month's actually working out better. We've only got 1 stop loss so far. I think it was an ETH short, and everything else is looking very good. So again, awesome stuff there. But the bottom line here, daily doesn't look fantastic. Take a look at the 4-hour. We want to recognize price action is doing better. Okay, we got a MACD convergence here, potentially a second convergence. Whereas the RSI is below 30, not a great sign. Money flow index is fairly low. So last time the money flow index came down, the price action came up by a small margin. It wasn't that much, roughly about 5%, but a lot of times folks will buy the dip, the money flow index dip, and it typically works pretty well. I would agree statistically you have a slightly larger probability of doing well buying that dip. I mean, you look at the previous time frames here, there's the money flow index really low, price went up, money flow index low, price went sideways, money flow low, sideways up, and then down. Okay, so again, it's not 100%, but it is something to recognize. Okay, so MFI being low just implies that more money could flow into this coin. But with these resistance levels, look how obvious this is. This area here couldn't pass, eventually broke. He has used it as support level 1, 2, 3, now 4 times. And what do you expect to happen next? Resistance. Okay, so this is going to be a new resistance level there at 104. So 104 to me, just from bird's eye view, looks like a great shorting opportunity. Taking a look at Elliott Wave here in the 4 hour. Once again, we talked about this previously. This could be the lower low, potentially the bottom, but I don't really subscribe to that. We are below the largest amount of volume so far in the last roughly month's worth of trading. So the truth is, we got a lot of resistance right here. If the price comes up any higher, it'll probably pull back even further. Okay, so we could very well see much more price action to the downside. It has more propensity to decrease than to increase. The only thing holding it in place is a 200-day SMA, and again, that's more like a hope and a prayer. You got 3 moving averages above the price action that's going to be driving it down. Okay, so we got 1 out of 4 indications telling us to take a long. Just kidding. I'm not telling any of us to take a long. It's basically invalidating the fact that a long position is even viable at this point. Take a look at the hourly. When we take a quick peek at, what is it, Ichimoku cloud here, we can see we're traveling into the cloud, pushing up to that resistance level while we have a little bit of momentum. Conversion line is above the baseline. The lagging span's not free and clear, and we're stuck under the cloud. If you're curious how the cloud works, it's one of the best indicators in the hourly time frame. I have an instructional video on how to use it. You can find that on my Discord under education, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got it kind of near the beginning, but it is also available on my YouTube channel as well. It's something I made a couple years ago. Truthfully, it's a pretty good indicator though. Highly recommend using it. But yeah, pretty much I haven't found a single reason to take a trade right now. Again, I'm referring to long positions. So most people ask about buying the dip and spot trading and stuff. This coin is not screaming a buy signal right now. It is screaming, yeah, a sell signal, but I prefer not to sell on the weekends if I can. But I think if Bitcoin even pulls back just by a small margin, we're going to see this coin correct itself pretty heavy. So just to quickly get perspective, this is Bitcoin's behavior. Down, sideways, and up. This is ARB's behavior. Down, sideways, and down. Okay, so again, that's averaging itself to the downside. So not fantastic by any stretch. Okay. All right, so what are your thoughts? Comment below, let me know. Like the video if you could, please. Greatly it helps me help you, I guess, and deeply appreciate that. So I'll send a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. They look a little something like this, or I just kind of provide you with playouts of what could happen next. So hope you find benefit. Thanks again so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and be safe out there. Thanks again. Take care.